Hello, welcome down onto the puzzle desk. Today we're going to be looking at this. This is the Exit the Game, another advent calendar. I've got two going on the series, running concurrently. One I'll put out in the morning, one I'll put out in the evening, and you're watching this because this is day one, December the 1st, and there's 24 videos we're going to be doing leading up to Christmas. So this is going to be the longer of all of the others, because in this video we're going to split up in three parts. Firstly, we're going to go through and have a look at what's in the box. Second part, we're just going to go through the rules. And we'll probably have a little bit of storytelling, and then we're going to go through the actual solving of it. And then every subsequent from 2 to 24 will just be this little section afterwards as well, so that all those videos will probably be a lot quicker than this one. So really appreciate it if you like and subscribe if you want to go and follow the series along with me. So let's talk about this. And this is a beast of an advent calendar that you can get. You can get them from Amazon. I'll leave links down below where you can get all of it if you want to get this for yourself. It's the advent calendar, the Intergalactic race with 24 exciting riddles, the escape room you play at home. And for months, the main topic of conversation in the cosmos has been the huge 24-day Mond race, and you get to be a part of it. How lucky the quirky guy in the spacebar hired you to join his team. In addition to fame and honour, the winner of this amazing race will, from now on, get to host Christmas. No wonder there are more teams competing there before. Everyone wants to win. Everyone wants Christmas. So here it is, and so you're going to get, if it's like the other one, you get your decoder table, then you load of cards and stuff, and your rule books, and then example room as well, okay? And then inside we'll have a calendar with the 24 riddles, and one storybook, a help book, decoder table, and one handkerchief. Right, let's get this open. And as we do, it's always worth having a look, because there will be something in or on the box that we're going to need. I mean, there's an owl there, there's a clock there, we'll probably need that. Because if you look on the other video, and the other advent calendar I'm doing, there were numbers in the exit logos. Not see any numbers on this one. Oh, it was in this one, wasn't it? In this, one of the numbers was in here. No, can't see numbers yet, but maybe there are some. So look, here we go then. When you open it up, check this out. Look at this. Right. So here we have the help book, game instructions, storybook, which I'll go through in a second. And here we go. Here are our 24 pieces, doors. All right, so, okay, so have a look around. And then obviously on the top, we have all of this. Oh, so that's got to be something for a puzzle. This will be for a puzzle, something later on. I don't know which one. And then we have three there, three. Okay, exciting. So we've got lots and lots of stuff to go on with. And one of them should be labelled number 1. There we go there. That's the one we start with. Okay, right. So let's put this to one side just while we ping through what we've got here. The storybook, which we're going to go through. We're going to read that in a bit, go through all of that. And then we'll go on the 1st of December and I assume 2nd of December. Yeah, okay. So, and then we're going to do this one today because it's the 1st of December. And then everyone after that, all the way through to the 24th. And then this is the help book and instructions. This will tell you what to do. So I'll just quickly spin through that just to make sure I've got everything. And then we've got the help, which we shouldn't need going through it. I'll just make sure this is the same. And then we have this, which is our decoder table, which I'll need to build. Right. That's all of you got at the minute. Right, so let me go and make sure the rules are okay. We'll get the storybook out in a bit and just make sure, and then we'll go through the rules on how to play it, all right, which will be part 2 in a bit. So there we go, and I have gone through it. I know what I'm doing, but there's just a couple of things I want to point out. When you go through these, always worth looking at these bits that are highlighted yellow because it tells you important things. So the idea is you're going to be cutting things, folding things, looking at things. It tells you need a pen, a pair of scissors and all stuff like that, which we have got. But I wouldn't need this again, so I'm going to put this to one side. Unless we need to find something, and then I'll be back like I was looking at the exit games. I needed like a number that was on there. But we shouldn't need this again. And then here is a storybook, and here is the decoder table, which I've cut and I've fed through here. So red, blue and yellow. Now, the idea is every single puzzle that we play, we'll get a 3-digit code, okay, which we put into here. So let's say, for example, the code we have on December the 1st is 455, like that. All you're going to do is you're going to flip it over, and then you're going to look here, and you're going to go up, right, down, left, and up. Okay, so you go from the number you were on, you go up left, which is to that one, then you go down left to that one, and then you go up one to that one, and then those three symbols there, so plus, diamond, triangle, will need to match those. They obviously don't because I've just picked this and wrote it at random, but if it did, we'd know that that was box number 2, and we'd write a little 2 on that planet, and that would be our door number 2 for tomorrow. And that's how you do it. Then tomorrow we'll do that again, but there's a couple of things I want to point out here. Boop, look at that. There's a nut there. We'll need that later. That's a walnut, isn't it? Is that an almond or a pecan almond, I think? And then a couple of dartboards there. But I can't see any more nuts. It's because it's worth having a look. Having around. We'll need them at some point. I don't know when. Right, so let's crack on. If I move this out of the way now, because we're going to do a little bit of reading now, because we're going to go and introduce the story that we're going to be running through for this. So it's early December in a galaxy far, far away. After a long day at work, you are looking forward to a refreshing drink in your favourite watering hole. You enter the somewhat shabby space bar and make your way to the counter. You know the barman, a Hundian in the eye patch, quite well. Can you make me a double yippee? Can you make me a double yippee tar, Tom? Coming right up, he replies and grabs a fresh glass. You relax into your favourite spot on the counter and let your gaze wander across the dimly lit room. Like most evenings, the singing of the beautiful four-armed Ganymede can be heard from the stage. The tables are full of the usual clientele, but also a few people you've never seen here before. A pale lady with a narrow white hat sits in an alcove. She's completely engrossed in the game of dice. Strangely, she seems to be playing all alone. A rabbit in a spectacular coat is standing at the dartboard. With remarkable speed, he sharpens a handful of carrots with his large front teeth and throws them one after the other at the dartboard. They all hit the bullseye with no exception. A shaggy white giant comes to the bar and speaks to Tom in a language you don't understand. A kind of loud howl that is somewhat reminiscent of a call of a wounded animal. The barman seems to understand him. He bends down and pulls a roll of toilet paper from under the counter. Visibly relieved, the hairy giant pads through the swinging doors to the back. Another star shake, please, calls the customer to the right. A gaunt guy with a weathered face. If you had to guess, you'd say he's from Earth like you. The guy seems happy in his own company and not interested in talking. Tom, turn on the TV, calls the rather slimy-looking Mobium from the back of the bar. The preface commentary should have started by now. Good heavens, yes, the race. You had completely forgotten. It starts today. The entire cosmos has been talking about nothing else for weeks. Once again, the IMB, the Intergalactic Maritime Board, is organising the 24-day Le Mond race. If you remember correctly, it's some kind of big anniversary. This year, the route will lead through large swathes of space. Gunther presses the remote control. A commentator appears on a screen in the corner, standing on a still empty runway, and reported excitedly. Unprecedented interest in the major event that connects people from many different planets. The spectator seats on the route, at least on parts of the route that are publicly known, have been sold out for months. We've heard that tickets are now being traded on the black market for the price of small planets. I just don't understand the hype surrounding this thing, you say to Tom and take a long sip of yippee tar. Well, replies the Hundian, you have to admit the prize for the winner is pretty spectacular this year. Think about how wonderful that would be. From now on, there'll be a charge of the annual Christmas celebrations for the whole galaxy. But in the end, the same people always win, you murmur, and look over to your taciturn neighbour, whose gaze is transfixed on the screen. His face is completely motionless. It is impossible to guess his thoughts. On the screen, the commentator is now interviewing the founders of the IMB, a blonde woman and a remarkably tall man. We have heard, says the commentator, an intriguing fact that some sections of the route are completely unknown to the race participants. Is it true that the route will have to be figured out during the course of the race? Are you sure that will work? Oh, I'm quite confident about that, man, replies cheerfully. For years we have been impressed with how much enthusiasm and cleverness the race teams brings to our challenge. Of course, we have a few very special surprises planned for the anniversary, so no one should be complacent. Nodding, the woman adds, it certainly won't be child's play, but the long and short of it is that the best racer will find the right path. For a moment, it looks like she winks conspiratorially into the camera as she says these words. The commentator is now talking about how doggedly the candidates have prepared. Some would have left their home planets, quit their jobs and put their social lives on hold, while they're all a little over-optimistic. You say shortly, you said it. The gaunt man next to you replies after a short pause. He adds, do you have any plans for December? You look at him in surprise. No, why? The stranger points his star shake towards the screen. Because of the race, I could use a helping hand. You almost drop your yuppie tar in astonishment. You are taking part in this. The man nods curtly and shoves a handful of Casio nuts into his mouth. When he notices your astonished expression, he mutters just one word, Christmas. Then he looks at you calmly as if taking part in the 24-day Le Mond race is the most natural thing in the world. Perplexed, you try to understand what is happening here, and you want me to, you stammer. What would be my duties? The man makes a vague gesture with his hand. Whatever is required, really. Reading maps, carrying out small repairs, making sandwiches, maybe cracking a joke. Now then, and to keep me falling asleep? And what will you be doing, you ask? Well, I'll be flying the spaceship. What else? He replies, if you are extremely slow-witted, then he holds out his hand to you. My name is Herr Bron, Zer Flockenski de Sneak, he says, but my friends call me Klaus. Very pleased to meet you, Klaus. You reply, shaking his hand in surprise, which he seems to take as agreement. Good, glad that is sorted, he says, and empties the glass with one long gulp. I'm going to pop by the little spaces room and then we'll meet outside at the spaceship. And with that, he gets up and disappears towards the toilets. You stare at him in disbelief. Gunther puts a second Yuppie on the counter, this time in a takeout bottle. It's on the house, he says, and then adds, by the way of explanation, Klaus is a good sort. You should go with him. After all, it's about Christmas, I know. Then without knowing exactly why you make a decision, all right then, count me in. You grab your Yuppie and slide off the bar stool. Bye Tom, see you at the end of December. Let's go to the 24-day Le Mond race. Are you ready? Then continue on reading the calendar page 1st December and get started with the first riddle. Let's pull this one out. This is the one we need. Need the 2nd of December for tomorrow. Right, we're going to need the thing back. As you step out of the bar, you're almost run over by a turbo sleigh. Startled, you take a step back and you see the same rabbit in the driver's seat who had just ruined the dartboard inside. He races away, his ears flapping in the wind. I wonder if he's taking part in the race too. You mutter to yourself in a low voice, sure he is. Someone says next to you. He's the shaggy white giant from the bar who obviously speaks your language. We're all taking part, he adds. The rabbit, me and her too. He points with his hairy paw over to the pale lady who is boarding a kind of futuristic white hot air balloon. The shaggy creature climbs into his craft, which looks like he built it himself out of spare parts he found at home. It mostly resembles a rusty boiler, by the way. I'm the Yeti, he says in a friendly voice. I'll see you at the finish. If you make it there, that is. He steps on the accelerator and his steam-powered boiler rattles into motion. Now you're curious to see Klaus's vehicle. You frown and look around the parking lot, where there are many waiting vehicles. How are you supposed to know which one is his? You go back to the bar and shout in the hallway in front of the toilets. Klaus, are you nearly done? I'll be here a little while, comes the answer from inside. What does your spaceship look like, you call again? Oh, funny story, he replies. Until half an hour ago, I didn't have a spaceship. But then a used spaceship dealer came into the bar. He bought me a Starshake and offered me a vehicle. Of course, I jumped at it straight away. The race is imminent. I have no idea what the thing looks like. No, sold as described as the deal, but it was such a bargain. Of course, I wrote down which one I bought. The details are on the dealer's business card. It should be on the counter. Maybe it's not entirely legible. The Starshake was in the way. Sorry. Sighing, you make your way back to the bar to look for Klaus's notes. Now turn the page. Now open door 1, and behind you'll find riddle cards A1 and 2. One strange item. The coaster. Right. So let's get started then. I've got a drink. I've got a hot chocolate. Go and grab yourself a drink. Please like and please subscribe, and let's crack on with this. The Intergalactic race, the advent calendar, exit the game as we open up door number 1, which is over here. Ooh. Wonder if we need that. So here's the coaster, I guess. Let's put those over there for a second, and then we always look in here. Always look in here, just in case there's something in here. What is it? Maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure. Not sure. Maybe we need something in there. Let's go over here and look at these. So this is the coaster. I guess we pull this out. Like that. That's the coaster. This is his business card. So used rockets in space. Oh, are those coloured things there? They were over here, weren't they? Look. Remember we looked at this at the beginning of the video? I'm not sure. Don't know yet. And then here, please keep safe. This card will show you the way to the correct solution later on your travels. This card will show you the way to the correct solution later on your travels. Use rocket spaceship vehicle. What's that? TV. Founder and managing director of Milky Way 17, 60783 Mercury. 0317 983 126. Right. And then finally we have this. So, it's going to be one of these, isn't it? They've all got TYP, IFH, TYP 1AT, ICO. Right, this has got. Where's the details on the dealer's business card? It should still be on the counter. Maybe it's not entirely legible. The star shake was in the way. Sorry, sign him. The details of the one he bought is on here. So the star shape was in the way. The star shape would have been on here. Right. So I think I'm looking here. I don't think there's anything. I mean, that's, if you look in there, if you look in there, that, I mean, that's it. That's it. That's the picture of the coaster. In there, that's the coaster. I'm not sure if there's anything else. There we go. That's got a better in it. Hang on. Let's see if I can get in better. Does that give us any clues? Not sure. I think it's telling me the star shake was in the way, right? So this was in the way of the business card. That's what it's telling me. Oh, circle, circle. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Please keep safe. I think this might be for later on. I'm not sure this is for now. But how would I get... I've got to pick one of these, and I think it's got to be... Yeah, that's got to be it. This has got to be the 3 numbers. So let's say, for example, it's this ship. Orange, green, blue. The code would be 973. Right. I've got the end of the clue. I think I've worked out, but I've got to work out how I choose TYP. TYP IUC. IUC. TYP IUC. Could be that one. So red. Oh God, is that dark purple? Yeah, red, dark purple, orange. I think so. Let's try. So we're on the first. 1, 2, 3. Red. 1. Dark purple. 5. And then orange. 9. 159. Right. 159. So we put it in here, 159, like that, and then flip it over. And then from here we go down. Oh no, no. You can't go off the board. All right, it tells you can't go. It would only, you can't go off it. But I'm telling straight away, I'm going down, and then down left. I'll be down here. So that's not right. Oof. All right, I think I'm onto it though. I think that's the right way of doing it. I just need to work out. It's definitely not that one. Just need to work out which one it is. TY. AI. Oh yes. See, look, TY. See if I line those up. What does that look like? TYP, which it is. Yes. IHF. Got it. TYP IHF. Oh, there it is. Straight away, first one. Got to be this one. Got to be this one. Green, red, blue. That was handy. Green 7. Red 1, 3. 713. I'm confident of this. Well, we did that a little bit. We did that a little bit kind of backwards. If that's right. Oh God, yeah. Better make sure it's right. 713. If it is right, kind of back to front. But I think we might have got there. Right, okay, left. And then left again. And then left again. Circle, diamond, hexagon. Circle, diamond, hexagon. Yes! That's number 2. Get in! So it's right! Whoa! So like I say, I got this back to front. I worked out what I should be doing with the code. And then I just needed to work out what that was. And I knew it would be TY, so I put those, and it just looked like them because it was just happened to be laying there like that. Whoa! As with all these puzzles, a bit of luck there. Bit of luck to get that one, but I'll take it. I should take it, and then this, I assume, I just keep safe. I'm going to put that back in there because it keeps safe. Yeah, what do I need that? No, later. So let's put that back in there just so we know it's nice and safe. That was it then. That was the one. So that was quite a long video. How long was that? About 25 minutes. But we, again, like we had those 3 sections where we did a lot of talking and stuff. So you can skip all that. And then we do this section of just solving the riddles. And now every day forward will be just solving the riddles. We shouldn't be doing much talking. I'm going to finish off my hot chocolate. And we're going to move on to day 2, which will be tomorrow. Please like and please subscribe so you can follow along to this. I'd really appreciate it. Right then, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.